All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to another client interview. This time we have my client Marisa, and we are going to talk about her journey so far. This is really just going to be, chit chatting about your story, which I'm excited to dig into. And so, yeah, if you could just kind of do a short intro on yourself, just so other people can kind of know, a little bit more about you.
Yeah, my name is Marisa. Um, I'm a veterinarian. I travel a lot for work. I'm approaching 40, hitting that perimenopause stage of life. I do CrossFit pretty regularly, and then just started martial arts and Krav Maga.
Yeah, crazy. So fun. So how many days a week do you do each? Like what's kind of your normal split?
Yeah, I try to hit CrossFit at least twice a week, and then I'll hit Krav Maga probably 3 times a week, and then I'll add in maybe some indoor biking or some indoor rowing or a couple of your pump workouts when I can.
Yeah, I like it. So activity is checked off, right? Super cool. So been how long have you been doing CrossFit?
I've been doing CrossFit probably for about 5 years now, and then Krav probably for about a year.
Love it. So whenever so we've been working together for a few months now, but kind of take me back to when we first started. I guess like what were you kind of feeling or experiencing that made you be like, I think hiring a coach would be kind of the best thing for me to invest in. Like what was that kind of moment like for you when you were like, man, I feel like I need some help.
Yeah, so for me, it's like, having been in that CrossFit space, there's a lot of talk about macros. And so I spent a lot of time tracking macros and MyFitnessPal or Lose It. I mean, if there's an app out there that tracks macros, I was using it. And I wasn't seeing any progress. In fact, the number on the scale just kept going up. I wasn't sleeping super great. I didn't feel healthy despite how active I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way that felt. I kind of felt like I was just aging prematurely, and I was just tired of living with not only like the physical weight, but the emotional weight of carrying some
Yeah.
extra pounds.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, and we were kind of just talking uh offline, but yeah, about like, man, especially if you're doing CrossFit, it's like there's easier ways to fitness. It's hard, right? It's fun, but it's hard. And so when you're doing that for years and you're also, okay, I'm tracking and you're doing all these things and it's like, man, like your fitness not being reflected in your body composition years and years, that over time that gets pretty frustrating. And so I hear that all the time. It's like, hey, I'm doing these hard workouts, right? But I'm even tracking, or I've tracked for years on and off, but it's still kind of not really moving the needle with your body composition. Um, and so yeah, I guess like once we got start, like what made you be like, okay, I think this is the coach for me. I think this shit can actually help.
I like your approach. You are a no BS coach,
Yeah.
and I think you make it so simple. And I really wanted to never track another macro again. Like I never wanted to pull out my phone before I ate something ever again.
Yeah.
And when we talked in those initial interviews, you said that I would never have to track another macro. And that was a huge motivator. But what I appreciated about you was how candid and honest and transparent you were about, I can provide this program, but you have to commit to it. And I just appreciated how it felt like a partnership, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't be on my own trying to figure out, why is the scale increasing? Why do I not feel great in the gym? Why am I not sleeping type situation?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, you just said it yourself. It's like whenever someone, works with me, I take it very, very personally, right? Like I refuse to let people fail on my watch, and it's like I take, everyone's goals very, very seriously, right? It's like we're committing to this as a team. Um, and so yeah, I guess over
Yeah,
the go ahead.
you're very invested in your clients, and I felt that in our initial interviews. Like you were very invested in learning about why I wanted to do why I wanted to work with you. And that comes through. And like when you're doing something like nutrition coaches with everything out there in social media, like, hey, do this and you'll drop 20 pounds in 6 weeks, right?
Yep.
Like I really felt like you were invested in me and that would be hugely beneficial to my success.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, there's so much stuff out there, right? And like we were just talking about this before we pressed record, but like there's so many things out there too that's like really it works, but it's unsustainable, right? And so like I know that was a big thing for you when we first started. Is like, hey, like I've lost weight before, or things have worked for me before, but like nothing's stuck, right? Like nothing is felt. Like okay, I can continue to do this and continue to see success. So what's been kind of like have you felt that this has been more sustainable, or what has made it like more sustainable for you versus like tracking or just doing the other stuff that you had tried in the past?
It's incredibly simple.
Mm.
I just you break it down so easily where it's like, all right, what's my protein? And that's going to be for this meal, it's going to be a palm and a half. Maybe it's going to be 2 palms.
Mhm.
And then I know I have to have like a fistful of veggies, and that's really easy. So I just
Yeah.
start thinking about, all right, what veggie do I want this week? And then, what carb do I want? And just it's so simple,
Yeah.
right? It's really made cooking and planning my meals a lot more enjoyable because I've taken like um all these complicated high protein recipes, right? And it's just very simple of just eat good food.
Eat real food. Eat real food
Yeah.
in portions that are aligned with where you're at and where you want to go, right? Um,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, man. It's like I can give everyone like a super complicated nutrition plan, and guess what? They're gonna follow for 3 days. They're gonna fall off, right? And it's like, people like you and me who want to do CrossFit and get stronger and like just like express our fitness, like just move our bodies and feel good and feel strong and capable. We really need to focus on how do we do things in a simple and sustainable way, not just like how fast can we shed 20 pounds and see that number on a scale for a day and then gain it all back, right? It's so much more about the long game. And so yeah, I guess talk to me about, obviously we've seen some really crazy progress. I'll put some pictures on here. But talk to me about the progress that we've seen just in the last couple of months. The weight you've seen shift on the scale, and also obviously some things have shifted with your mindset as well.
Yeah, I would say just from the scale perspective, right? I did weigh myself today and I'm officially 22 pounds lighter
Crazy.
than when I started, which is just insane.
Yeah.
My body fat percentage has drastically changed. I was starting to go from like a size large shirt, right, to a extra large shirt as right before I started working with you, right? And now I'm going from a large to a medium shirt. That feels really good. I had to go buy a new belt, and that feels awesome, right? And in terms of like the mindset, I do feel like I am completely in control of my health now.
Mm.
And it helps to know like if I have a question, right? Like if maybe I want to um, build more muscle and drop more fat, like I can talk to you about those goals. And we've seen it in the past couple months, right? Where I wanted to increase my muscle mass and I was able to gain like 8 pounds of muscle over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And just
Crazy.
doing simple resistance training.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it just you just feel like you're in control of your life and your health.
Yeah. Which like I think that alone, like really feeling like you're in the driver's seat with your health and with food and with fitness, and that these things aren't happening to you. You're actually the one controlling them. Um, it's just such a liberating feeling, right? Like kind of feeling like, okay, like I'm on the steering wheel now, right? Like I actually have control of this thing. And it doesn't feel like things are just happening to me. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that mindset shift alone really sets you up for success with like the tangible things, right? Losing body fat, gaining muscle mass, improving your performance in the gym. Speaking of the performance in the gym, you've obviously seen some pretty crazy performance gains, right? Like I think a lot of people that get started, they're kind of like, hey, Liv, I want to lose, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it is, but like, I don't want my numbers to drop in the gym. I really want to stay strong. CrossFitters, we care about our performance, right? We don't just want to look good. We also want to feel good and perform well. So, yeah, kind of tell people what you've experienced on the performance side of things as you've lost, a significant amount of weight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm moving so much better. Doing lifts, clean and jerks, thrusters, which are like the bane of my existence, right? I'm moving so well through them that they're almost enjoyable. I'm not going to go that far and say that they're enjoyable because there's thrusters,
Yep, yep.
but that's been really nice to not be intimidated by some of the movements as you look at the WOD for that day and just be excited about, how much more weight could I put on this barbell for whatever the lift is, like a deadlift, a back squat, a front squat. I've seen all of those numbers not only increase, but I feel so much better under the barbell.
Yeah, yeah. And then tell me about the with Krav as well. I know some people might not even know what that is, but I mean, you just hit a pretty huge milestone. So talk to me about like performance gains with that.
Yeah, so I do Krav Maga, which is like the art of Israeli self-defense, and it's essentially it pools all different techniques from different martial arts, right? And so I recently got my blue belt, which was pretty cool. So I'm in the, let's call it the intermediate phase of training,
Yeah.
and it's been really cool to be sparring with folks, or shadow boxing or whatnot, or doing groundwork, and just having my sparring partners be like, hey man, that punch was, man, like you've gotten strong, or man, that kick almost took me out, right? And so I'm seeing that, um in both of my activities, in CrossFit, seeing a lot of gains in my performance and the weight that I'm able to move. In Krav, seeing a lot of performance gain, and like how quickly I can throw a punch and how hard that punch is going to be.
Yeah.
And not only my ability to like do more movements because I'm carrying less weight.
Yes, for sure. Like you feel like you're flowing better, you're more confident whenever you're like actually, making moves and causing damage, right? Like they're
Yeah.
they're landing and they're landing hard. No, it's super cool. I think that like yeah, just being able to express like your fitness outside of the gym, right? That's what CrossFit's all about. Like being able to take up Krav because you can and like go for a hike and like just like surf and just do all of the things, right? It should make you capable to
Yeah.
do anything and everything, right? To just go explore outside of the gym and do things like that, right? Like just, explore a whole different facet of fitness and sport, which is super cool. Last question I have for you is, I guess, there, like what you mentioned earlier, right? There's so many things out there, right? There's so many people on, Instagram and just all over the internet, right? Just like, no clue what they're talking about, just trying to, sell you whatever, quick fixes all over the place, right? I guess someone that was kind of feeling how you were whenever we first connected, feeling a little bit stuck. They've tried tracking macros, they're doing CrossFit, but they're just really not seeing the results in the mirror and in their body composition. Maybe they're not feeling super confident. What would you say to that person that is like on the fence, don't really know if they're, in a place to invest in a coach, don't really know if it's like, worth the investment? I guess what would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence of like getting started?
Yeah, I mean, like first I would say like you wouldn't really be investing in a coach, right? You're gonna be investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna be investing in your present day self and then your future, right? Like I mentioned, getting a little older, hitting those perimenopause years, right? Shout out to all the CrossFit ladies experiencing the same things.
Shout out.
But as you get older, you need to carry more muscle mass. You need to watch your body composition to help focus, or manage your hormone balances and whatnot, and then just be able to move with your joints, and all the things. The more muscle mass that you have, the healthier you're going to be, especially as you age. So for me, I feel like I've just gotten years back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I would say like it's an investment in yourself, not only today, but for the future, and then your loved ones,
Yeah.
to have you around and have you be happy and healthy and just in a much better headspace, and not sucked into your phone tracking the sweet potato that you ate,
Yes.
right? Like
Yep.
you
Yep.
can you can be so much more present.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that plays into the sustainability part of what we do, right? It's like, setting up people for success for the long haul, right? Not like, okay, let's do a quick fix, right now, and have you feel like trash in the gym because you're eating 1,100 calories and like, you know what I mean? Like fueling and doing it the right way, so we're getting the most out of every gym session and also getting all the benefits with the body comp. Is I think doing it sustainably. If you're gonna do it, make sure you're doing it in a way that's sustainable for you and your lifestyle. Because if not, there's unless you're doing a bodybuilding show, there's really no point in like the quick fixes, right? If that ends into and gaining it all back at the end, right? So super cool. Well, I really appreciate your time, dude. Appreciate you just like following the plan and executing. I mean, I've told you before, right? It's like I can give someone the best plan, be messaging them all like accountability on 10, plans on 10. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to do the work, to follow through, to have faith in the process, and like, do those little things, those non-negotiables every single day that stack and stack and stack to get the results that, we've gotten just in the last couple of months. So, yeah, just really appreciate your consistency and always showing up for yourself. And honestly, the time today to do the interview. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. It's been awesome working with you. And if anyone's listening, like just do it. Pull the trigger. Do it for yourself.
Yep. I love it. Awesome. Thanks, dude.